Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Scrotitis Plays Food the Beast. We're on a bit of a scouting mission right now, and we found, well, first of all, look at the size of that tree. That is insane looking. It's got to go to the sky limit. We're going to have to investigate that. Not in this episode. But definitely, because that is just insane. So anyway, we're playing the new Unleashed pack, and we have a goal today for today's episode, and we need appetite to complete that goal. This should give you a bit of a hint as to what we're going to work on today, but in order for us to start the project, I had to do a little bit of scouting, and this is actually not real far away from base, probably about 100 or 200 blocks away, but that's a nice little starting chunk there, appetite. I think we may need a little bit more because I don't want to have to come back once we get our project up and running. But, that was that chunk. The best way I found to find appetite is to just sort of go along the surface, since it's usually an ore that's found in levels, I think it's 50 or higher. Not positive, don't quote me on that. But if you're in a mountainous or hilly area like we are here, you can usually see surface appetite. Now, there's some actually right up there again. But this is something I wanted to show you, part of the Unleashed mod pack. I'm not sure which mod this is directly related to, but what we have here is a gravel ore, which I think is kind of weird. Iron gravel ore. And as you explore around in this mod pack, there's multiple ores that are in gravel on the surface, which I think is just crazy. It makes finding things a little bit easier. So resources don't seem like they're going to be too difficult to find. At least the ores that are included. But another quick thing I wanted to show you, and I demonstrated right there real quick, is that little health meter that shows up whenever you target something in the top corner. And you saw me easily dispatch that porker. But let me go ahead and take care of harvesting the rest of this appetite that we found here, and I will meet you back. Alrighty, guys, we're back here at base, and we've got a nice little chunk of appetite, and we actually need a little bit of. We're not going to need anywhere near all of this, at least to start. But we need a little bit of sand because we're going to turn this appetite into some fertilizer. It looks like 8 appetite and 8 sand 16 sand turn into 64 fertilizer. So we're going to go with just a stack for the time being, but that also means that we've had 2 full stacks of appetite left and 2 full stacks of fertilizer. So we should be good to go with that. Now, we've got all of our blocks set aside here that we need. I didn't bother wasting your time in making them, but you probably get the idea of what we're making if you saw the farm blocks that I had there. So let's see. Yeah, we've got farm blocks. We've got our integrated circuits. We've got our soldering iron. I think we've got everything, all the pipes we're going to need. So we should be good to go. Now we just need to figure out where we want to put this. Our center area where we built the power platform is kind of full. So I thought we would build it over here. We have the high cliffs all around, so I'm not worried about using this area and not using the other, or cramming into the other when we have all of this space with all these mountains. I've got a pretty cool plan to incorporate the areas too. I think you guys will like. But I've gone ahead and marked off a dirt support area that I want to use for kind of like a support strut structure that we'll use to get on and off of our farm. So I'm going to go ahead and get started in building our farm right in this spot here. And I marked off the middle. All right, guys, we're back. We've got the farm all in place. I didn't want to cover how those go together. I did that in the first season of Feed the Beast. So if you guys haven't seen that, I think it's episode 15 or so. It's a multi-farm, and that's what we're using is the Forestry multi-farm. It's a multi-block structure, and it goes together pretty easily. This is the interface that we're left with then. So we're actually just doing a straight-up tree farm because we're running out of wood, and I've come up with an idea to where our tree farm will be self-powered, meaning that we won't need to supply it with any sort of coal or fuel of any matter, that it will, in fact, supply itself from what the trees grow and drop. All right, so the first thing we need to do is we filled it up with some dirt, and we've got the few saplings that we have in our inventory, but we need to supply it with water. And the design I'd kind of like to go with puts the water out the top. Now, I'm sure you guys probably think that's a little goofy because we're hanging or we're suspended above a ginormous ocean of water. But I think the design is actually pretty neat. I hope you guys like it. But we've just gone ahead. We've got 3 liquid duct there, and then we're putting our aqueous accumulator on top of that. And then we're just going to sort of do 2 little side sections where we're going to have 2 water sources that our aqueous accumulator will be able to pull water from. So I think that's the only glass I'm going to use. I think I'll stick to half slabs to hold the rest of the water in. I think it'll give it sort of an open look and feel. I think it'll work out kind of nice. But let's put down some dirt. That's where our water source blocks are going to go, where I just place those 2 blocks of dirt and finish this off with a couple of half slabs here. And on this side as well. Okay, that's where our water's going to go, so we knock out the dirt. We got 1 water bucket. We're going to have to get a second one, but I think you guys get the idea here. 1 water bucket, and the second one will go there. And it's slowly starting to build up supply. Let's drop down here real quick and get us a bucket. Let's go. There we go. And we got it. So, oops, looks like there we go. Get back up here to the top and get our second water source to our floating water source. That's not really the best name. We'll figure out a better name for that. But there we go. That is that. Okay. So check out our accumulator. It is filling up. So that means it's pumping our farm full of water. Good stuff. All right. So we're going to go ahead and take this down. We shouldn't need backup there actually ever again. So we can take all this scaffolding down like so. Perfect. And yeah, I think that looks pretty cool up there. And it's doing the trick. Our water sources are staying there, and our farm is full of water. So we are good to go on that side. Let's see what we need to do next. We need to worry about getting this thing powered up. All right, so we've been working over here. We needed a couple more supplies, but we also needed a platform to stand on so we didn't fall down into the water. All right, so we've got our farm hatches, and we've got 4 of them, 1 each to correspond with each quadrant of the farm. I did that in case in the future if we decide to change any of the quadrants to allow harvesting of other types of either food or crop. So each one of those, then, we have an iron transport pipe coming down out of. And we need our wrench so that we can set the pipe to filter to the corner that we want. And I think we're going to go over to this one. So with the changes actually to the BuildCraft, the animation or the display of the iron transport pipe changed slightly. Now that closed off area means that's the only way that it will flow, where before that meant it was blocked. So kind of something to get used to with the switch from Ultimate to Unleashed mod packs, but nonetheless, pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. All right, so that's the corner we're going to send things to, and we're actually going to need a diamond transport pipe for that corner. Next in the middle is our gearbox, so that we need to supply our power to it. And we are going to be using a squeezer and biogas engines once we get things going. But for the time being, we actually are going to have to go with a Stirling engine because we don't have the proper resources that we're going to need. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet. Stay tuned, guys. All right, so here's our rig, our setup. We're ready to go. Now, I want you to keep in mind that the Stirling engine is temporary, but we've got fertilizer, we've got water, we've got dirt, and we've got our full 4 oak saplings. So let's go ahead and give her power from our Stirling engine. You see there's a squeezer here. We want to fill up this inventory with the apples. That is then going to allow... Oh, you know what? We need to get a redstone engine on that transport pipe because we're going to be sucking out the fruit juice that the squeezer makes turns our apples into, and pump that over into the biogas engines to fuel them. All right, so flick the switch on that Stirling engine. We're going to start getting some power once we put some coal in there. That might be helpful, huh? All right, and we need to set up our diamond pipe here. We've got an iron chest set up to collect our oak logs and the sand that is converted from the dirt, and the any extra saplings, which will be quite a while before we have extra saplings. But I think you guys get the idea of what our goal is here. All right, so there we go. It's working already. So it's got our dirt down, and our hydrated dirt, I guess I should say, and it got our four oak tree saplings planted. So now we just sort of have to play a waiting game for all the soil to get planted, which isn't of dire needs right now because we have to wait for the oak saplings to grow. So, like I said, it's sort of a waiting game at this point. We've got it all set up the way we want as of right now. We'll have to do a little bit more wiring so that we can turn our engines on and off. And we'll obviously remove the Stirling engine once things are moving along as well. All right, we're back. We had to swing back over to the base for a couple more supplies that we forgot, including this bone meal that I thought I'd snag up to try and expedite the process. And when I came over here, lo and behold, we got a tree that grew. Actually, it looks like maybe just one. I thought at first maybe there were 2, but one is good enough. So our Stirling engine is going to get some power up. We replaced that regular coal with coal coke, which is 4 times better for providing power in those Stirling engines. But we've got a couple oak. Where'd they go? There we go. We got an apple coming down the pipe. So, look, was that 1 or 2? So let's set up our diamond pipe. The green is what's going into the chest, so we want our logs going there. That's going to fill up with our oak saplings before our chest gets any, so we don't have to worry about setting that filter up yet. And we've got our apple heading down into the squeezer. You know what? I think a piece of wood went in there before we had it set up properly. Yeah, let's go ahead and put an apple in the black. Come on. There we go. So that's going to bring only apples down into our squeezer. And it says sap. It doesn't say fruit juice. No inventory space. Yeah, I think it's glitching out because we had wood go into it first, and that's why there's that wood pulp, and it says sap. So a squeezer will create those two byproducts if oak logs are supplied. So I think to reset this, we'll just simply we'll just break off the squeezer with our pickaxe, and that should reset it since we're not storing anything that's within it, and give us sort of a restart. All right, guys, are you excited? I'm pretty excited. We've got our apples and our oak wood set up. Here comes our apple down the chute. We're still running off the Stirling engine, but you'll see we've already squeezed a few apples. We've got some fruit juice and mulch. We've got one mulch so far. I don't know what we're going to do with that, and I don't know how to automate getting that out either. So it's something we're going to have to keep our eye on. But you see we've got the pipe set up for the fruit juice to head over to the biogas engine. And you see our saplings. We're getting quite a few more. I'd say we're probably close to having about 16, maybe closer to 20-some. But let's go ahead and lend a helping hand. We're going to bone meal a couple of these saplings just to sort of speed up the process here. Let's see. Who's the winner? Maybe you? No. This one. There we go. All right, so we helped out by adding a couple trees. Hopefully we get some saplings from those, and we expedite our apple process. That's sort of what we're waiting for now, is an abundance of that fruit juice so we can switch over off of the Stirling engine to the biogas. All right, another quick trip back to our supply temporary base. We did a little bit of work. We have a support structure starting to go up. And if you see something, looks like things are pumping pretty good. And the Stirling engine's gone, guys. That's right. That is full of fruit juice. Check out our biogas engine. Pumping away, full blast. Almost full of apple oak saplings. We got a couple more to go in there. Our dirt's doing good. Our squeezer, full of fruit juice. And our pipe is as well. There we go. And the nice thing about the fruit juice, unlike the milk experiment of last season, is once you put one bucket of lava in there, that is enough heat to sustain it constantly. So it won't use up that lava source like the milk did last season. Now, I don't know if that was an ultimate mod pack thing or if that is a standard for all forestry. It's something I might do a little bit of research on, actually. But nonetheless, this setup is working perfectly. We've actually got another lava bucket waiting to turn on the second biogas engine as well. But as you'll see, we've got tons of wood collecting in there, tons of fruit juice. Things are happy. I'm happy. You guys are happy. I'm guessing you guys are happy. I don't know. But this was sort of the idea that I had. It kind of reflects a little bit of maybe Cloud City from Empire Strikes Back, if you guys are familiar with the Star Wars movies. But it's this disc up in the middle, and it has this structure of support and machines and things hanging down from the bottom. I think it's kind of a neat look. This is what I've envisioned. Now the dirt obviously needs replaced with something, and I want to have something supporting the farm itself. So I'm going to build an arm out of the wall, replacing the dirt and grass, and then have a support structure go around the outside, probably just with stone. And then let's get a peek from over here what it looks like. I think this would be a good vantage point. I want to take a look at what we got going and see if I can sort of figure out what sort of supports I want to build into this. Because that's one of the things that I'm doing with this series, is making the builds functional but also believable. So I want to look at this. I want to say, well, that's a really cool tree farm. It's self-powered, which is awesome. But then it also looks cool and believable. there's this massive arm coming out of this stone wall holding it in place, and there's these scaffolds and metal structures holding it up. All right, I think that's going to be our last cut, guys. I think we are wrapped up. What do you think? Look at it. Check it out. We've got our stone structure coming out of the wall. We've got stairs going down to access the supplies. We've got lamps in the floor, sort of lighting things up. And then we've got these iron scaffolding around the outside, providing another strong support. I love it. I think it turned out perfect. Those are sort of coming down off of the support structures. The iron scaffolding is one of my favorite blocks that we've been using this series. But then we've got the old standby stone half slabs, and it just, I think it couldn't be much. It's almost exactly how I envisioned it. So I wanted to take a peek with an ender pearl over from this mountain over here. I think this would be a nice place to check things out. Oh, yeah. That looks good, guys. All right. So, hey, I want to let you guys know that I am having an absolute blast with this new mod pack, Unleashed. Tons of cool stuff we're going to be checking out in the upcoming episodes, including some really cool stuff in the Nether. So make sure you tune into that. That'll be in the near future. But I want to thank you guys for all the support and the views that you guys have been giving me. We're trying to grow the channel out. I'm actually, believe it or not, about a month away from being on YouTube and uploading videos for a full year now. We're also nearing our 500 subscribers, which is a nice little landmark for the channel. Trying to plan some things for that. I don't know if time is going to permit me to get something done before we reach that landmark, but there are a few things I'm trying to work on. But I want to give you sort of a 360 view here of the tree farm while we close out the episode. Like I said, I want to thank you for the support I've been getting. If you enjoyed the video, throw a like on it, because that bumps me up in the YouTube stats, and we build the channel up, and we expose our product to some new folks. So that's going to do it for today, guys. Like I said, this has been Scrotitus Plays Feed the Beast, and I'll check you all in the next episode. We'll see ya.